Order and progress heading towards 2020. It is the final match of 2019. And Brazil taking on South Korea. For Brazil, the struggles following their Copa America success continue. For Korea, on a good run of form as they look to head in towards Asian action. We'll take a look at these two teams from Abu Dhabi. Brazil and South Korea, a couple of changes in store for the five-time world champions. And what will they face against Son Heung-min and South Korea? Stick around and find out. It's Brazil and South Korea from the United Arab Emirates next on beIN Sports.
She wanted to move someplace warm.
But he wanted snow for the holidays. So we built a snow globe.
Get that later.
But the one thing we could both agree on was getting Geico to help with our homeowners insurance.
What?
Switching and saving was really easy.
I love you!
Sweetie, hands off the glass.
Ugh.
Call Geico and see how easy saving on homeowners and condo insurance can be.
I love her!
Have you ever worked with Dr. Francis?
Oh yeah, he's okay.
Just okay?
Guess who just got reinstated? Well, not officially. Nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I'll see you in there.
Just okay is not okay. AT&T has America's best network, now with our best plans at our best prices, starting at $35 a line for 4 lines. New from AT&T.
Attention cancer victims who use the weed killer Roundup. A federal jury unanimously found that Monsanto's popular weed killer Roundup was a substantial factor in causing cancer. You may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you or someone you love used Roundup and were diagnosed with cancer, call the number on your screen now. Don't wait. There may be time deadlines to file a claim.
Call 800-817-6015. That's 800-817-6015.
Lined up and ready for action. Amar El-Janebi, the man trying to keep things in order. Brazil and South Korea stepping into the Mohammed bin Zayed in Abu Dhabi, ready to close out the international slate, at least for Brazil. There is East Asian football coming up next month for South Korea, and a good test, perhaps just a little better test than they faced against Lebanon last time out, but of concern they could not score against Lebanon, hoping for a little bit more success in Abu Dhabi, but it will be a stiffer test. Phil Shane alongside George DeMatteis, and you see smiles on the face of Thiago Silva and Casemiro, the two veterans, and the baby-faced Rodrigo, who made his debut last time out against Argentina. The FIFA anthem in the air as the two teams step onto the field. It always gets the blood pumping.
It sure does. There is nothing more exciting, more thrilling, and more memorable than a footballer on the pitch listening to the national anthem of his or her respective nation. So this is a big moment for Brazil and for Korea Republic as well. And it's a good test for Korea Republic to see how far they have advanced as a footballing nation if they can get a good result and play well against Brazil, the 5-time world champions, in my opinion, the greatest footballing nation ever. So this is an important matchup for both teams. Brazil are struggling since winning the Copa America, haven't won in any of their friendlies since winning the Copa America. I know Chichi is experimenting with some players in lineup, so that's something to watch for in this matchup. But this is going to be a good test for Brazil as well. Korea Republic is a footballing nation on the rise with talented players and big, strong players that are developing, and they play fast, and they're very good with the ball at their feet. So this is going to be a good test for the Brazilian defense.
And the national anthem's about ready. The fans already taking their mementos. Beautiful scenes in the stands, and perhaps even a bit more beautiful down on the field. The two teams ready for action. Beautiful stadium in Abu Dhabi, the Mohammed bin Zayed. First opened back in 1980, and it was only about 15,000 seats at that point, but now expanding to well over 40. Few empty ones if you can get there in time for kickoff, but if not, feel free to stay with us over the next couple of hours. The Brazil Global Tour, and really only one change of note against Argentina. Richarlison getting the start today.
Yeah, it's interesting because in the friendlies since the Copa America, we haven't seen Richarlison and Gabi Jesus play together. Usually one starts and then the other one will come in as a substitute. So to see both of them together on the pitch is going to be very intriguing for the Brazilian attack. And then for Korea, I mean, all eyes we know about Tottenham's Heung-min Son, but look out for a big defender in the back. Min Jae Kim 6'3". They call him the Monster. That's his nickname. He's a big defender. He will certainly be a problem for the Brazilian attacking players, and expect him, because of his height, might win those aerial balls as well. So he's a defender to look out for Korea and Paulo Bento.
Tallest player on the park. Well, maybe, let's see, as he gets close to Allison, both of them checking in at 6'3". Good look at Tite, the man who got so much credit for the turnaround of Brazil, but had not won anything until the Copa America and hasn't won anything since. Literally. Take a look at the bench. Brief look at Paulo Bento in between. We'll talk about the Portuguese maestro in a moment. There are quite a few interesting players of note on the bench here today, and I really want to see Valencia's Lee. There's a good look at Paulo Bento. Actually spent some time in Brazil coaching for Cruzeiro a few years back, hoping for better success today. Brazil and South Korea. It is the Koreans in red defending the goal to the right. Brazil in their familiar yellow and blue, moving from left to right. Phil Shane alongside George D. Metellus, and we are glad you've joined us today on BN Sports. If you wish, Jose Bausami, see us on our Spanish language side. Just hit the SAP button, but stay right there. Again, for Brazil, a team that knocked off Peru in the Copa America final, but have not won a game since. 3 draws, 2 defeats, most recently against Argentina, thanks to Lionel Messi just a few days ago. For South Korea, coming off of a scoreless draw against Lebanon, and couldn't score against North Korea in their regional rivalry the last time out. So they had 8 goals against Sri Lanka back in October, and apparently they used up their allotment for the month.
It's a lot tougher when you have that regional rivalry and against Lebanon compared to Sri Lanka. Asian qualifying is surprisingly difficult. Korea is one of the big teams in the Asian Confederation, so they should be able to turn it on and get those goals necessary to get them through to the World Cup.
Ball pushed up that far side. Kim Moon-hwan. You'll hear a lot of Kims along the back. Kim Moon-hwan, Kim Min-jae, Kim Yong-hwan, and Kim Jin-soo from right to left. Out wide, Son Heung-min tucking it down into the corner. The Spurs man lifting his head, looking, has space and time. Ball crossed, flying in Danilo to impede. A golden chance for Kim Jin-soo, but he was blocked away, and now it's Brazil on the counter.
Some great football down that right side between Lee Jae-sung and Son Heung-min.
Good work by Jung-woo Hwan that time to steal it away from Gabi Jesus.
Korea is a squad that has very skillful players. They're fast. They want to be direct as well. And we saw that down that right side between Lee Jae-sung and Son Heung-min, and also Kim Moon-hwan down that right side. So good start for Korea, showing their abilities against a Brazilian defense.
Ball pushed off to the flank. Hanan Lo, the inside, dangerous ball. Kim Min-jae forced to clear it away for the corner kick.
That started out very well. Lucas Paquetá with the pass out wide on the left, but there's the first good chance for Korea. Look how much space Son Heung-min has to send in that ball, but the touch by Lee Jae-sung was excellent.
Ball played back into the middle, headed clear by Jung. By the way, on that cross from Son, if it hadn't been deflected, I think it was Renan Lodi who just got the touch, which changed the angle inside for Richarlison, but offside. If it hadn't been touched and affected the curve, Kim might have had the chance to catch it on that back post run.
Sure did. It was a pass that certainly disorganized the Brazilian defense, and well done by Korea's back line. The Kim back line, keeping themselves in unison, in line, working well together, forcing the offside on Richarlison.
tucked wide. Kim Min-jae up the line. Stripped away on the sloppy ball. Richarlison onside. In for Paquetá. Sneaks it in. Almost gets the return after the defender deflected it. Big game for Paquetá, who's getting the faith from Chiche, but still really looking to make his name, the number 10 from Milan.
And Korea trying to play it out of the back there. Brazil forcing that pressure, putting that high press, and it led to a turnover in favor of Brazil. They just couldn't get a shot on target. You can see how Korea want to play with Paulo Bento. They want to play it out the back, maintain the possession, and try to get it out wide too. Kim Min-sono on that right side, Wang Hee-chan. So the tactics of Korea very evident early on in this match. They want to maintain possession, try to play it out of the back when they have to.
Ball forward, and again a little too far afield. Richarlison not happy. Amar El Janabi, Ahmed El Rashidi, and Yassim Abdullah Al Ali, the officials on the field here today. That one a little closer than last time, but no hesitation from Al Rashidi on the near side.
Richarlison is trying to play that line as the center forward. We've seen in previous friendlies after the Copa America, Richarlison out wide on the right. They're trying Gabi Jesus out wide on the right, and Richarlison is that center forward up top.
One of the reasons is Roberto Firmino has become, just as for Liverpool, an ever-present for Brazil, but Chiche giving him a break, just seeing what depth they do have. And interesting, because a few new faces called in for these two games to close out the year. Firmino, Jesus, Richarlison, I guess the old recognizables, but they've brought in Wesley, the 22-year-old from Aston Villa, who brings back a few memories of Adriano, a different look, more powerful inside, and then the diminutive, almost Romario-like Rodrigo, who has lit it up for Real Madrid, both of them making their debuts against Argentina.
If Wesley reminds or can have that trajectory, well, not toward the end, but if he plays a little like Adriano did, O Emperador, the Emperor, and they're going to get a fantastic player. Because when Adriano was on his game and his mind was right, he was one of the most devastating number 9s on the planet during his time.
Out wide from Militao. Again, a new look on that back. Marquinhos does return, but Eder Militao alongside as Thiago Silva getting a break. Kim Jong-wan stepping in, deflects it away. Lee, Son. Flying in is Zhu Sejong, but couldn't win the ball back. Out for the throw-in.
Yeah, it's for Korea Republic. They've come out 4-2-3-1. Zhu Sejong and Jung Woo Young. And that double pivot with Lee Jae-sung in behind Wang Yu-jo, and then Son on the left, Wang Hee-chan on the right. Of course, that's a formation, that's a tactic that can always evolve and morph into a 4-3-3 as well. So we'll see how Brazil pick it apart.
Trying to sneak it in for Paquetá, well defended, and quick off his line is Cho. There's, well, at least not a mismatch, maybe even a little height advantage for South Korea. Cho's checking in at 6'2" in goal. Center backs 6'3" and 6'1". Long ball forward to the 6'1" Hwang, but hard to use that height when you're down on the ground.
It's an aggressive Korea, and they want to play it quick too. The goalkeeper Cho gets that ball, plays it out quickly, and they try to boot it up the park for Hwang as fast as possible. So Korea want to play not only with that skill and possession, but also with pace and directness as well.
Fabinho out wide. Kenan Lodi for Coutinho. Fast feet wide for Lodi, inside for Paquetá.
Kenan Lodi, look what he does here, beating Zhu And then playing out wide to Hernan Lodi, takes a deflection. Thought at first it may have taken a deflection, but it's good interplay. But look at Coutinho, he beats Zhu. That's the key right there. I thought it might have taken a deflection. Whatever the case, the service is excellent. And Paquetá gets inside of the defender and scores. But it's started with Coutinho winning the one-on-one to create that space against Zhu, and then out wide to Hernan Lodi, and then Lodi with the excellent service to Paquetá, who beats his defender to the mark, and it's a goal.
You saw the wide angle. Kim Jin-soo, the left back, had 2 to mark, and that little hesitation. Didn't collapse inside on the more dangerous threat and pays the price. Yep. And mention the fact that Lucas Paquetá, with flashes here and there, for the most part is disappointed for Brazil. But that's his second goal, and he has been off to a quick start today.
And obviously, even though it's a friendly, when you wear that number 10 on your back for Brazil, a lot of eyes will be watching your performance. So Lucas Paquetá, even though the weight of the shirt in terms of the fabric is the same as all the other players on the pitch, but because of that number, the weight is heavier, so he has to perform, and he has to perform very well.
A guy who used to wear it with aplomb being recognized today, the legendary Pelé. 50 years ago today, he scored his 1,000th goal off a penalty against Vasco da Gama. The Vasco fans gave him a standing ovation. That was goal number 1,000 and counting. Well, it's goal number 2 for Brazil for Paquetá. Hopefully he can go on and build from there. Blocked away as Kim can't clear.
Oh, hey, Pelé, Edson Arantes do Nascimento. I'm sorry to all the Maradona fans or Messi fans or Ronaldo fans or Cruyff fans or Beckenbauer fans, but Pelé is the greatest footballer of all time. We'll just leave it at that.
I think they all have arguments, but
yeah,
Pelé was the one, I think, who lifted the bar that they all try to achieve.
Absolutely.
Coming back is Jung. Wide Zhu. Kim. Up to Kim Moon Hwan. Trying to find Son down the line. And a beautiful curling ball. The Spurs man fronted by Eder Militao and commits the foul, trying to get it back.
Good physical defending there by Eder Militao. Heung-min Son, Tottenham fans and Premier League fans know this. You get him one-on-one in space, and he is likely, he has the skill, the footwork to beat any defender one-on-one. So you have to get on top of him quickly, not allow him to get that space for him to create and run at the defenses, and then obviously lead to goal-scoring chances. So Eder Militao getting on top of him quickly, does well to get his body in between the ball and Son, and winning the ball back for Brazil. Son Heung-min is a fantastic footballer, and you cannot allow him to get the space to operate, and Militao shut it down very quickly.
Blasted by Militao. Not quite sure that's what he meant. Playing over on that left side. We've used to see him more on the right, going back to his days in Portugal. Used to seeing him on the bench at Real Madrid, but he has stepped in of late and starting to get his feet underneath him for club and country. 8th appearance for Brazil today.
Well, you know, with Zidane, you really have to earn your place in the starting 11.
Testing that right side again. Help to the inside. Son dribbles, trying to sweep it across as he's come to this near side. He'd flipped with Wang, but then Son can't get inside. Tried to go inside out, Paulo Bento, but Brazil standing strong, and a smart play by Danilo.
How about Gabi Jesus tracking back to help out defensively? One-on-one to deny Son a chance to threaten Alisson in goal. There's the goal again. Coutinho beating Zhu. That was the key. Out wide to Hernan Lodi. And then also the runner, Richarlison, occupying about 2 or 3 defenders, and that allowed that space to open up for Paquetá to come in and get inside the defender and win the header.
Couldn't quite tell. I think it was Danilo who was all the way on this near side that was in the back of the head of Kim Jin-soo, and it was, as you said, the run by Richarlison, the presence of Danilo. That was the only opening that Paquetá needed.
Yep.
And credit to him. Showed his muscle, showed his guile, showed his determination, and celebrates with the goal.
And you wonder if maybe Shaw in goal for Korea could have been a little more aggressive to come out and meet the ball. But that does show bravery that you dive for a header like that in that space with the goalkeeper threatening to come out. It could be a very nasty collision, and Paquetá sacrificing or saying, all right, I might get a concussion here, but I'm going to get the goal.
Chance from distance. Down goes Alisson to deny. Of course, these two quite familiar with each other, but Son denied by the Liverpool keeper.
Can't give Son that kind of space. Time and time again, he scored from those distances for Tottenham.
Again, you think back, there's so much talent. Difficult ball to handle, but Cho makes it look easy. Harry Kane, the golden boy for Tottenham, but Son has stepped up and in some ways proven to be just as, if not more, valuable. Sloppy pass from Kim Jong-wan. Can't gift it right back to Brazil, but that's what South Korea is doing. It's heading towards 6 o'clock local time in the evening. And it is still 80 degrees, so it could be worse.
Yeah.
But it is a rather warm night. Too far for Lodi.
In those desert environments, you got to play these games at night.
And normally you think desert would be dry, but humidity's up there near 70% as well. Just a little bit of a breeze. That was a difficult one. If it would have skipped down maybe an inch or two in front, but well played. Alisson touched inside, and Paquetá. Interesting how they're playing him. They've dropped Archer a little deeper with Fabinho, and Paquetá pretty much getting almost a Kaká-like role behind that front line.
Well, he hasn't had to worry too much about any kind of resistance through the midfield. The Korean midfield hasn't been aggressive in terms of marking or trying to dispossess Paquetá or Coutinho, so he has that freedom to go forward, and as long as Fabinho is providing the defensive cover and Arthur is there to be that link between the attack, or excuse me, the defense and the midfield and even the attack, that gives Paquetá some more space to roam going forward.
Son again, coming from the left, the layback towards Kim Jin-soo. Draws it high and deep for Hwang, but out comes Alisson to gather.
Expect Korea, now that they're down a goal, to commit more players forward when they have the ball, when they have the possession. But they also are showing their defensive discipline. They are getting the numbers back when Brazil have possession. And when they get those numbers back defensively, Korea, they're forcing Brazil to try to play the ball over the top. The goal came off of a turnover deep in the defensive half of Korea, and then Coutinho working his magic to create the goal scoring chance. But when it's kind of run of play, build up possession, Korea getting the numbers back and kind of making Brazil play the ball side to side instead of as direct as they would like.
Overlap is on. The former Paranaense man trying to slide it in. Did it carry? Nope, he will get the corner. Fitting in quite well at Atletico Madrid for Felipe Luis, and filling in as well on the national team now. Marcelo Felipe Luis may be in the rearview mirror of the 21-year-old, according to Tite. Near post flicked on, looking for Militao, but he's saying it came off a defender.
That's what
Al-Janabi disagrees.
It looked like it came off a defender as well. One of those red shirts. That's what I thought, but no convincing the referee otherwise. So Korea playing it out of the back. They want short passes, short, quick passes to maintain possession. Brazil trying to make it difficult by playing a little bit higher, deny that connection through the middle. Pretty high back line as well.
'20th minute. Near side, Kim. Into the middle for Lee Jae-sung. Ju spanking it long. Up stepping Kim Jin-soo, trying to get around Danilo, who brings him down. A bit cynical, but a free kick upcoming for South Korea.
Well done by Kim Jin-soo. Able to get around Danilo. Danilo clipped him from behind. That should be a yellow card on Danilo. He was beaten by Kim Jin-soo. Just good turn there and then got him from behind. That should be a yellow card on Danilo. That's a clear foul, intentional foul from behind. He should be in the book there. That's a yellow card for sure on Danilo.
Driven in near, deflected away. Danilo trying to lift it back over his head. It rattles around and still in play. Now Son with a shot that doesn't quite bend enough. Good pressure from the Koreans.
First attempt there off the free kick was tricky for the Brazilian defense, and Heung-min Son with a little bit of space. And we know he has the skill to bend it. Bent it twice.
Ooh.
Maybe a handball.
And again, with the new rules, the new interpretation, doesn't matter if there was, from an attacking perspective, if there was an intent or anything. If it hits the arm, it's supposed to be a handball.
Yeah. Looked like a handball on Jung Woo-young.
Lee dropping it back. Wang Yi-chan saying on that far flank, out for the Brazilian throw.
What we saw in that sequence that led to the Korea set piece, we saw basically defensively 4-5-1. Yeah, Coutinho, Paquetá, Fabinho, Arthur, and Gabi Jesus flat in that midfield defensively. It was a smart run by Kim Jin-soo on the left back for Korea to move up the pitch there, and they were able to get that long switch over the top there. But both teams defensively trying to maintain that organization, keeping themselves disciplined and organized. Just that Brazilian magic is the difference right now.
Switching to the near side, Jesus. Nice defense and a good double team, but now, well, didn't look like it, but the official a lot closer than we are. Kim Jin-soo getting tangled, and down goes the Brazilian. Is there a foul here? Well, he did have a hold.
Yeah, looked like that right arm wrapped up Gabi Jesus. That left back for Korea, Kim Jin-soo. I'm impressed with his performance so far in this matchup. Times his runs very well down that left side.
Lifted high to the back post, just skims over Marquinhos. Back into the mix, chested down Militao. Fabinho laying it off for Archer, who hasn't seen many touches, but we've seen from his time at Barcelona he can shoot from there.
Yeah, Artur kind of conceding the space or conceding the attack to Lucas Paquetá. I won't say providing defensive cover, but just being a little bit deeper and allowing Paquetá to go forward more.
Midway through this opening half. Only goal coming from Paquetá in the 9th minute on a nice build-up through Coutinho and Renan Lodi. There, the goal scorer. Coutinho seems to have taken to Bayern Munich, and it's revitalized his play both for club and country. Whipped in and parried away by Kim Moon-hwan.
Barcelona fans were not too happy with his performances for the Blaugrana. And of course, with Frankie de Jong coming into the mix and then Arturo Vidal getting more playing time, Barcelona saying, all right, maybe Coutinho might not need you as much. You're not going to get that much playing time. And they seem to have Barcelona has a good relationship with Bayern in terms of loaning out players. It's worked out well for Coutinho at Bayern. He's becoming more and more a beloved figure as he continues to play well in the Bundesliga for the Bavarian club.
Of course, a team that was looking for a replacement for the likes of Ribéry and Robben. There was room at the end, but he's made himself at home.
Yeah. And
Barcelona could get him back, but you know what? Bayern might want to hold on the way things have gone this season.
And Bayern, over the last 3 or 4 seasons, have had some success and good times with South American midfielders on loan from Spanish clubs. So he might want to make that permanent, Felipe Coutinho.
Quickly out wide for Lodi. Back for Arthur. Sweet touch by Coutinho. Now out wide again. Lodi drives it, deflected away by Kim Moon-hwan. Corner kick, Brazil.
You gotta like the touch by Coutinho. And Fabinho running into that space as well. Now Korea, they're getting the numbers back defensively, and they're keeping the shape. They're still giving up a lot of space quickly to Brazil in the middle.
By the way, that person you saw Paulo Bento complaining to on the bench, the Canadian-born Korean coach, shot from distance by Fabinho, sails over. Michael Kim, who was born in Toronto, brought in by the federation as one of 2 local assistants, if you will. Actually spent some time in the Manchester United system earlier in his life, but now maybe in line should Paulo Bento depart.
That's interesting. That's
nice ball for Richarlison. He knew he didn't need to hit it hard. He almost hit it perfectly.
It's a great
sneaky.
Yeah, sneaky, very sneaky. Great through ball to Richarlison. I think he takes an extra touch on it. A little bit of the flair on the ball. I don't know if he was taking a shot or was trying to square it into the middle for Gabi Jesus, but Jesus coming from that wide position had a lot of ground to make up to get into the middle to get a touch onto it. It's still Richarlison, after a couple of offsides earlier in this match, starting to find a little bit of room.
Good control by Hwang, drops it back, shot from Lee is blocked and rolls over to Henan Lodi, who passes back to Allison to clear. That curling ball stays in play, but this time goes to the Koreans. Little dummy on that far side. Hwang inside, and a slide by Eder Militao denies. Hwang was open if it gets through.
Wang Hee-chan trying to link up with Wang Wijou. But how about that little dummy and the little stutter step there by Hwang Hee-chan to get into that space and get the opportunity, get the room to send in that service. That's a brilliant little stutter step there by Hwang on that right wing.
Ball in front, cleared by Militao.
I'd say down that right side, Korea looked dangerous. I know he saw it on a couple of occasions on the left.
Song inside, finds a gap, but was Arthur who slides in front. Might not get as much credit as he should for his defensive prowess, the ex-Grêmio man.
One thing we know for sure about the system that Chichi plays, if you're a midfielder and you're mostly an attack-minded midfielder and you're not getting goals, you're not getting the goal-scoring chances, if you track back defensively, he'll keep calling you up and he'll keep outplaying you in the game. He definitely appreciates the hard work defensively through the midfield. Arthur proving it there.
And it's intriguing because going back to his time at Corinthians, he did have that defense-first mentality, but I think now that he has all of this talent at his disposal with Brazil, what he did when he stepped in was to, again, solidify the defense, let people know what the responsibilities were, but because there was that foundation, they were able to bring back a bit of the Jogo Bonito.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the mark of a great coach, is not to be stubborn. Yes, he has his defensive mentality from Corinthians that helped him win a Libertadores and a FIFA Club World Cup, but also realizing that I have all these great attacking players, Coutinho, Richarlison, Gabi Jesus, Neymar. Let them play as well. Like you mentioned, solidify defense, but don't be so stubborn to make the whole team be defensive. It's almost anti-Brazilian to be entirely defensive. So he does give him that freedom, and he's willing to change up his tactics to allow the players to go forward and be attack-minded, while at the same time keeping their defense solid.
You think he's under pressure, though?
Always. Oh, if you're a Brazilian coach, you're always under pressure. You never.
5 games without a win.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people felt he should have been fired after the World Cup.
But they kept him and won a Copa America because of it.
Which is smart, because he is the best Brazilian coach out there.
Lee lets it run, sails all the way across, will stay for Son. Kim Jin-soo behind if he wishes. Trying to get through Song Heung-min, but dispossessed in the double team. Now, the one thing they do have is a very busy year upcoming. If there is going to be a change, you'd figure it would be after this game. I don't see any signs of it.
Yeah.
In March, World Cup qualifying gets underway, and the rumors being they will go right back to the same exact calendar they have over the last 4 World Cups. Now, for Copa America also coming up in June, so it will be a very busy year for Brazil. And well, the World Cup qualifying goes on for a 2.5-year marathon. Tute's performance defending that Copa America crown might go a long way to determining his future.
I can't see that when you're talking about the Brazilian national team. Okay, let's say they do get rid of Chichi in the next few months. Who do they bring in?
That's a good point. Chance for Son inside, trying to find the trigger with his right foot, but Brazil keeps him off balance. Long ball from Zhu. Wang on the far flank. And he will get that final touch off the defender, out for the corner.
And what we're seeing with some of these Brazilian defenders, especially out wide, is that they're getting help defensively with a couple of players, as there's Heung-min Son, his brilliance on the ball. But especially out wide, you'll see a Gabi Jesus track back, Coutinho track back defensively. Paquetá got his ankles broke there by Heung-min Son, but at least he's tracking back and helping out defensively. So the defensive effort, as you might expect from that Chichi requires, is there.
Lifted towards that near post. Lee got a touch, but couldn't keep the shot down.
Korea's looking very dangerous.
250 minutes since their last goal. Again, mentioned the 8-0 shellacking against Sri Lanka. Kim Shin-wook in that game with 4 goals. And doesn't even get the call up for this. And Lodi getting the apology from Hwang Hee-chan. Going to be a busy December. Mentioned the East Asian Championships. Korea is actually going to be the host. That gets underway for that final round. Coming up December 10th. South Korea, Japan, China, and Hong Kong. Japan getting shocked earlier today, by the way. Ball lifted, diving header by Kim Min-jae. Up steps Fabinho and tripped up just outside the 18.
Japan losing to what, Venezuela, was it?
Big time.
Yeah. Venezuela is a team that they have some talented players. They are, I mean, I could see them qualifying for the World Cup in 2022.
They've come close the last three, but Sullivan Rondona hat trick in a 4-1 victory over Japan. All 4 goals scored in the opening 40 minutes for the Venezuelans, who, under Rafa Dudamel, the veteran goalkeeper, seemed to have become much more composed.
Yeah.
So 1 goal to their name. Coutinho looking to make it 2, 10 minutes from the half. 4 in the wall, and again, you see the attackers not allowed to be within a yard, so there's a mini window in front of yellow jerseys. A yard off his line, Cho. Coutinho to the near corner!
And then he strikes a golazo here for the second goal for Brazil. Oh, there's nothing a goalkeeper in the world could do about it. I don't think Spider-Man or Mr. Fantastic could keep out a goal like that.
Hop, skip, and the jump. Maybe Allison.
Yeah.
Good thing he's on his team. Credit to Cho, but almost picture perfect by Coutinho. Goal number 17 for the Canarinho. 2-0 Brazil as we head towards the half.
Also have to give credit to Fabinho, because Fabinho's the one that made that bursting run forward that led to the foul, that led to the free kick goal.
We were talking about Tite moments ago. The pressure is building, but perhaps, as you said, unlike maybe a decade ago where there were a horde of coaches who might have the caliber.
Yeah.
There aren't that many at the moment. But Renan Lodi coming out. Alexandro. Some of the other players saying that they were going to try and grab this victory for Tite to take some of the pressure off. They're halfway there, only a little further away than the last try. Let's see if Brazil can do it again.
Brazil being aggressive, they run in, being direct, running into the space.
Coutinho just about 30 yards from the center of goal with an angle. Driving it in, nodded clear. The monster,
yes,
getting his head in the way.
Well, they learned from the free kick about a minute earlier. This was more about getting the service to Richarlison than going directly on frame, and the monster Kim Min-jae reading it very well. Brazil, what separates Brazil from so many teams in the world is the fact that they have players that can finish consistently. And Korea Republic has shown that they can go possession.
Ooh. Threaded into the middle. Richarlison keeps it alive. Out comes Cho Hyun-woo just in time.
Korea Republic have shown that they can play the possession game with Brazil. But when it comes to that class, that final touch in the penalty area, Brazil just a class above. Much better than Korea in that respect. That's usually what separates these very good teams like Korea from the all-time great teams like Brazil. And obviously the midfield is defenders, but the fact that they have these lethal goal scorers from all over the pitch that can score. And Brazil have that. Senhor Paquetá and Coutinho, two midfielders scoring for the Seleção.
Here's some of the Korean fans in the background singing their support, win or lose, but a bit frustrating at the moment. Everywhere they look, there seems to be a yellow jersey between themselves and goal. Five minutes left in this first half. Nice ball across by Lee, slips away. Son steps up, tripped up by Paquetá. Free kick for South Korea.
Well done by South Korea to get in, find that little bit of space in the middle, play the ball quickly into that space, and they force the Brazilian defenders to track back, and or especially that midfielder track back, and Paquetá commits the foul. But some good, patient, intelligent build up there by Korea, finding that gap in between the lines, between that midfield defensive line and then the back line defensively.
Set plays can be the difference maker for underdogs. Can they start to climb back? We know what Son can do. Thing is, we also know what Alisson can do.
Yeah. I mean, Alisson, top 2 or 3 goalkeepers in the world.
Five in the wall.
Arthur ducking in.
Wang pointing out the 6 inches Brazil is cheating forward. It's about 25, 26 yards out. Kim the left foot, but they'll leave it for Jung. Off the chest, loose Alisson. Cleared off the post by Coutinho. He almost scored in both nets. Oh!
Chaos in the area. Off the free kick by Jung. Oh, that was very close. Look at, he knows it too.
It took a deflection in the wall. Not sure if it was by design. Maybe one of the Koreans got a boot out there and it changed the direction off the chest of Alisson.
And how did they get away with Arthur hiding behind the wall there? That's what I want to know.
Well, as long as he starts a yard away. Remember, it was starting to be a fashion a couple of years ago, that defender behind the wall kind of throwing their body down.
Yeah.
Ball flicked away. Basically what that did is allow the wall to jump, and then you'd have that extra body plugging that gap.
Yep.
Danilo.
That's the, I call it the Ronaldinho effect, because Ronaldinho used to be great at just, that wall would jump and he'd keep it on the ground and score a free kick by rolling it, basically rolling it under the ground, under the wall, the players that were jumping. I think Juan Fernando Quintero scored a goal for Colombia in a World Cup like that, if I remember correctly. Messi's done it a couple times, so that started with Ronaldinho.
Kim Jin-soo inside. Arthur slotting back to fill the gap. Two minutes left to go in regulation in this opening half. It's been an entertaining affair. Korea just starting to find a few gaps to probe in the Brazilian defense, but it's Coutinho that's been the difference. And I guess in some ways, even give him credit for helping to defend what could have been a goal for South Korea, with a little help from his skinny friend.
Yes.
Kenan Lodi. Actually, it's Jesus over on that left side. Back for Coutinho, lifting it for Gabi. And flicked away for the corner.
And I think Gabi Jesus floating over to the left, wanting to get involved in the attack, because the majority of the Brazil's attack, and when they've looked the most dangerous going forward, has come from the left side, their left side. Well, Coutinho, that's why you play in the midfield and not in the back defensively. But it didn't go over the line, so no harm.
Headed down into the middle, knotted down by Paquetá, but looks like offside against Militao on the initial call.
Good to see the Brazilian defenders going forward. Oh, that's close. It's very close. But one thing about this first half, I'm sure it's in stark comparison or difference to the match against Argentina. Obviously, Korea, not a team that's going to be too physical, get stuck into those hard tackles. So that allows Brazil to play a more free-flowing, loose game with more space to operate. Koreans not known as being that physical, hard marking team, and I'm sure the Brazilians are used to the South American way where it can be like that. So a little more finesse from Korea.
Bursting up the middle, Son, surrounded by 4 defenders. They know where the danger lies.
Fabinho Marquinhos collapsing on Son there to dispossess him. But he still was a thrilling run through the middle by Son.
Richarlison trying to bring it under control, but that changed his momentum, and South Korea able to gobble it up. 1 minute of added time in the books. 2 goals for Brazil. Coutinho, the man.
And Brazil putting on a show in the first half. Korea looking very strong and showing some flashes, but Brazil just a class above.
So Coutinho setting up Paquetá in the 9th minute, scoring on the free kick in the 36th. Korea coming close, but could not find the goal. 2-0 Brazil at the break in Abu Dhabi.